What's up guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to Art by Flan. Today, as you can see, we have something a little different. If you watched any of my other videos, generally I don't record myself sketching, but I decided that this was a simple enough idea that I wouldn't tense up and stress out over drawing it on camera, which is something that I suffer from, and I'm trying to work through it, but in the meantime, you'll just get simple stuff when I feel like sketching. So, this video gave me some trouble. Not because it was a difficult piece or anything, but because I just didn't know what I wanted to draw. All I've been doing lately is playing Pokemon, and it's like, I gotta put out a video! I can't ruin my streak, I gotta put out a video! What do I want to draw? And it was like nothing at the time, I just wanted to play video games. But then, I decided that I would draw one of my Pokemon, but make it sort of human-ish. I can't remember the word. There's a word for it, but I can't remember what it is. So this is my PRIMARINA. I actually picked Rowlet at the start, obviously, because he is my small owl son, and I love him very much. But I also really, really love Poplio's Final Evolution PRIMARINA. I think that's how it's supposed to be. It's a play on prima donna and marina, where you store boats. I think it's the name. So it's gonna be PRIMARINA. Somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I decided that I really wanted a Poplio too. So of course I went on the internet, and lo and behold, some lovely people in the Pokemon community have already bred theirs and had them up for trade. So I grabbed a Poplio, trained him up, and got my PRIMARINA. Now, the kicker is PRIMARINA's male in mind. So I have a very effeminate looking Pokemon that's a male, and I love him. He is my child. He helped me beat the final stages of my Pokemon Moon, which yes, I have already beat it. So I wanted to draw him to sort of commemorate that. I'll probably do my decidui, however you pronounce that. I think it was deciduous tree. I don't know. Anyway, English is hard for me, and it's my first and only language. But yeah, so I really love PRIMARINA's design. I've drawn it before in traditional media, if you've seen that on my Instagram, and of course once I got my hands on one, I knew I had to draw it again because it is such a gorgeous design and I absolutely adore it. So I wanted to draw him in sort of a humanized version, so that's what I did. I named my PRIMARINA Odette, after the lead character in Swan Lake. That's it. I keep wanting to say the Swan Princess, but that's the movie. The actual thing it's based on is Swan Lake. By the way, the Swan Princess was one of my favorite movies as a child. The sequels were garbage. Don't bother with them. Watch the Swan Princess. But yeah, so that's what I named him after. I couldn't find a male-centric name I liked, I guess, but then again, I'm not really hung up on Pokemon gender politics, so he's a boy, he looks very feminine, and his name is Odette, and I love him. So I'm doing something a little bit differently here. As you can see, there's no line art for this picture, and I did actually do line art, but decided I wanted to take the picture in this direction instead. So what I'm doing is I'm doing another version of lineless art. Instead of doing it with the pen tool in Photoshop, I'm doing it with the brush tool in Tool SAI. I've done this a couple times. I think I've ever posted or anything, but I really do enjoy how this came out. It took me a bit to get it right, and you'll see later on when I take it to Photoshop, I try to add a little bit more shading and stuff, but it doesn't exactly work out. So yeah, I like how this came out in the end, and as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm putting just little line details. I'm actually not using the pen tool, I'm using the crayon tool in Tool SAI. Sorry, I had to think about the word crown because it's, some people say crown, some people say crayon, and it's really all dependent on where you're from. But yeah, I'm using that tool to give it a little bit of texture, to make it a little bit more dynamic instead of just the usual clean straight lines that I did to actually color the piece. I was excited to try it on this particular sketch because it wasn't super complicated. There weren't a lot of different colors to work with, had a lot of complicated shapes, so it really worked out well in the end. I thought about making stickers, and I thought about doing, on the sticker subject, I thought about doing the other two starters sort of like this and making them stickers or something available on my store, but I'm not 100% certain because I don't know. I say I'm going to do things and I never do them because that's who I am as a person. That's why I'm late to everything. And so I'm sorry I'm late. That's just who I am as a human being. But hey, my videos are usually on time, so that's something. At this point, I didn't quite like how the pearls just sort of didn't have lines, so I went back and added those in to give them a bit more depth. And then I move on to his face. His eyelashes throughout the entire video are left white, like PRIMARINA's are. But I do eventually color them in because it's too much white on the face for me. So I go back in and color them in to give it a bit more color on the face, because as you can see, it'll just be, they just blend in, they get lost in the design. And I feel that way about PRIMARINA's actual design, that her eyelashes sort of get lost, but her face is so narrow on her design that they don't get lost as much as on a rounded face, like in this little chibi design I've done here. So yeah, just going back and adding some details on the eyebrows. Have any of you guys played any of the new Pokemon games? Do you like them? Do you not like them? What starter did you pick? Tell me in the comments. I want to know, because I love Pokemon and I want to know more from people who also love Pokemon. Oh, here I am trying to put in more like shading to sort of give it a little bit more depth, but I don't like how it came out. It wasn't just blending how I wanted it to, and I didn't want to fiddle with it, so I ended up liking the flat colors with the textured lines much, much better. And I'm just going in and changing the colors of those lines to make everything look nice and to keep the line art from looking too harsh. There's really not a lot to say about this piece. It's a small piece, and we should be shifting into the final picture here in just a moment. There we go. That's a look at him all finished up. Even add a little bit of blush to his cheeks. If you like what you see, don't forget to click that subscribe button. You can always check out the other video I have up there on the end card. And if you like what you see, don't forget to click that subscribe button for a new video from me every single Saturday in your inbox. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye-bye.